Wifey's got to get treated like the queen that she is.
Yep.
Wifey is there through the ups and downs. It's not that I'm not willing to talk about certain things. I still care about my career, but I also have other things that I do because now I have intent and purpose.
Stop asking us, what are we wearing? What's your style? This and that. Now we're giving out the secret. It's MARGN. Check them out.
There's great stories all around the world. People always ask yo, you guys go zero dark 30 for months in between, and in the world of today where there's 3 million podcasts, infinite amount of social media channels, you just can't do that. This is a business at the end of the day. We do love doing this, but we need to be a little bit more active, and this is just a way to bring more contact to the viewers and our audience and our supporters.
Let's flat out. Big teams, big boys, alright?
My highs and lows, inherit growth, Mr. Deeds. Went from juggling 3 jobs to CEO like I'm Steve. Never been a rotten apple, call me John Appleseed. That's how I bleed. God can see, no other man can judge me. Call him Mike, Mr. International, getting cream. Single mother told me worth, and now I'm worth everything. Went from Wall Street to Abu Dhabi, straight rolling in a Maserati with women that feel exotic. My life too prestige.
Man, you didn't have to do them like that, man. You didn't have to do them like that.
It was film day.
Yeah.
We gotta make a statement.
Exactly. We gotta make a statement. Last
What's
flight
going
out.
on, man?
Flat out, flat out, flat out, flat out, flat out.
Welcome back to season 4 of the Last Flight Out podcast. In case you're new or you've forgotten, we're your hosts, Mike and Jay. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and give us a follow across all of our social media channels, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. In case you have forgotten or you don't know, my name is Jay. You can follow me across all of my social media channels at JLubriel26, and you can follow my man Mike at...
If Mike was here.
Yo, Mike, tell him where we at.
Bonjour, we're in Paris. You could tell, by that time we got a different look today.
We got a little bit of a different look today. We're doing a little bit of pre-fashion week. I think, season 3 ended. Now we're on to season 4. Literally was on the plane an hour and a half ago, right? So,
same.
But we have a little bit of a special announcement to start off the season. So I'm going to pass it over to Mike so he can make that introduction.
Yeah, our first collaboration, with a clothing brand. Me and John, we're both fashion guys. We love style, we love fashion, and we decided to partner with a brand called MARGN. They're out of India. Amazing attention to detail. Through their clothing and their fabric and design, they incorporate the culture. They're great at storytelling. And, this vest, funny story, we got this last minute, and literally the head designer was like, it's coming in from the Himalayas, They're known for their knitwear, so this is handmade right here.
Yep.
You could just tell, from the pants, just the details in the pockets, the shirt, head to toe, MARGN. We love them. Also, in this collaboration, you get 15% off. Use the code LFO15.
It will be in the description.
Yep. So stop asking us, what are we wearing? What's your style? This and that. Now we're giving out the secret. It's MARGN. Check them out. They've been featured in Vogue magazine.
Yep.
They've been all over. They've done London Fashion Week and all that. Up and coming brand. So definitely check them out. We love them.
Yep. And just shout out to the MARGN team for getting this vest that was made in the Himalayas.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you guys can't feel it. I'm a big details guy. I'm not really Mike's style and my style are different, but towards the same goal. I'm more of a details guy, but the detail in this vest is incredible. Yeah. This was handmade. You can tell that this is worth
the
whatever
weight, the weight to
this is
nice
crazy.
And warm, yeah.
It is gonna keep me warm. It's kind of cold here in Paris, and I don't feel it at all with this thing. So I don't know what type of feathers they got in here. Don't want to offend anybody who's into vegan clothing or anything, but this was an incredible collaboration. Shout out to the MARGN team for making this happen. Shout out to them for taking a chance on us the same way we're taking a chance with them. We're kind of both in sort of that early growth mode, and they're making headwaves, especially in Dubai. When Mike gave me a call, was like, hey, I was at this store and there was this fashion brand, and sometimes Mike comes with me with ideas. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then we got on the call with the MARGN team, and I was seriously impressed with their catalog, especially this vest. And I told Mike, that vest is mine. You can take anything else in the catalog. The vest is mine. I immediately saw the vest. The vest, just the detail behind it, it's different. I have not seen anything like this in the market, and that's what I personally like. I don't like to get things that everybody else is rocking out. Like I'm pretty basic with my basics, like you know whatever. But there's certain always a detail that I like to make me stand out a little bit else from everybody else. So
definitely.
LFO15 in the description, in the code. Shout out to the MARGN team. Thank you so much again. We hope to be able to show different fits. Again, now we give you guys a little bit of the secret sauce because people ask us every once in a while, like, hey, like, what are you guys wearing? Like, where'd you guys get that from? And we're not trying to be league fits here where we don't like at least tag, but MARGN definitely deserves a shout out. So thank you again, man.
Definitely.
Mike, man, it's been a while, man.
It's been a while, man.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. So season 3 wrapped up. We were both exhausted. I'm definitely exhausted. For those of you who don't know, corporate attorney, and I've had a very difficult last few months.
Yeah,
Mike's
definitely.
Mike's been having to do the Luka Doncic. So
you've been going 0 dark 30. I'm like, what's up? They're killing you out there.
Like, they're killing me out there. It's like Mike's like a bill collector right now. I'm avoiding his calls, but it's been tough, man. It's been tough. But that's the reason why you have partnerships. That's the reason why sometimes you need to rely on your partner to do certain things. By the time this video drops, hopefully we would have already done our first video online virtual podcast, sort of our weekly or bi-weekly or at least once a month catch-ups, because people do ask for content. People always ask like, yo, like you guys go 0 dark 30 for like months in between. And in the world of today where there's 3 million podcasts, infinite amount of social media channels, you just can't do that. This is a business at the end of the day. We do love doing this, but we need to be a little bit more active, and this is just a way to bring more contact to the viewers and our audience and our supporters.
Definitely. But before we get into things, why Paris? You know, a lot of people ask me, why are you guys going to Paris? Like, you know,
why Paris? I mean, because that's where the story.
And this was kind of your idea to get to.
So I don't want to like give up the secret because there's a part 2 to the Paris. Obviously, we're here for a reason, right? We're here to interview someone who's a co-founder to a streetwear fashion brand here in Paris. They've received the Award of Excellence from the government of Paris. So they're making headwaves. They've had collaborations with Hennessy. They've had collaborations with the NBA. They've had collaborations with many sports teams. Champion Sports. They're doing upcycling now with a whole bunch of different jerseys, which is fire. Every time I go and see, they're sold out. So we want to capture their story. And I think that, I don't think the question is why Paris is why not? Like, why not go there?
Yeah.
Like, again, I tell people all the time, if you go back to our first episode, the theme hasn't changed. There's great stories all around the world. So the world is our oyster. We don't need to stay in one spot and have anybody come to us. Not that we're special or anything like that, but we're willing to go to the story and capture the story of the person that we think is relatable enough for you, right? Because I'm sure you have an idea that's in your mind, or maybe a question you as in the audience have had a question. How do I start doing this? How do I go about doing that? And hopefully through the podcast, somebody's like, oh, they did it this way. Let me try it this way and maybe add my own little twist to it. But honestly, bro, I'm at the point in my life now where I don't have any kids. I don't have any big responsibilities. I'm going to go to wherever the stories are at. There's no stopping us wherever we're going. I'll be in Dubai. You'll be in New York. That's always going to be a staple in the show. But like, we have to have something different, right?
Yeah.
We have to have something different. We can't just be on a podcast.
I think right now we're crossing out the major cities. We did LA, New York, Dubai, London. So we had to hit Paris.
We got to hit Tokyo, man. We got to hit the Far East. We got to hit China. I'm trying to go to Shanghai and Marbury. Shout out. But I'm just trying. Personally, this is a challenge and a test for me because not many people in my position, at least doing what I do, have many side hobbies because it's so all-encompassing. I mean, right before this call, Mike literally was hearing my phone call that I had while I was on a call with work, right? And I think that the important thing is that we have to continue to just break barriers, not just for ourselves, and we have to be about the work. We're showing you guys the work. Yeah. Right? We're showing you guys the work. This is season 4. It's special because I wouldn't have thought we would have been to a season 4 when we first started this, but this is just a continuation in the growth process, right? And I think through this process, I've learned that it's going to take time, right? Yeah. It's gonna take time.
We're still new. Even though it's like we're approaching a year and a half, it's like that's nothing.
100 episodes.
When I'm
100 episodes.
I was like, yeah,
100 episodes is the first big milestone. So we a quarter of the way there, just over. But yeah, man, like I mean, why Paris for you? Like why do you not that you push back on my ideas, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, at first, the only thing I pushed back, I'm like, who do we know out here? Like,
no, nobody. Nobody speaks English out here.
Oh my gosh.
Or nobody wants to speak English.
Yeah, they don't want to speak English, so, you know. But yeah, for me, it was like, you know, it's a middle point. So I was like, it makes sense. You know, both of us are making the same sacrifice and all that. Even the days we were both going back and forth. I'm like, let's get it on a Saturday. You're like, yo, I can't do it. I'm like, all right, we'll do that. The next one, the next city, I got it, you know.
See, just to give somebody a time zone check, getting in somewhere in the beginning is always beneficial for the person ahead in the time zone. Leaving is better for the person. I can stay later than Mike. If Mike needs to be back on a Monday, I can, in theory, leave on a Monday morning and land in New York on Monday morning and get to the office. Mike can't do that. Mike could be here Thursday and then still get here Thursday. Not me. Like, I'm going to lose a day coming anyway. So that's just a little... you know, just organizing these trips is difficult because we have to do it because it's just a little bit of work, but there's play. You know, there's always going to be a play. So look out for the vlog that'll come out. People, the Dubai vlog came out.
It did well.
People
liked it. People liked it. So
I think it's because I was having an interesting conversation with somebody the other day, and they told me they still don't feel like I'm vulnerable enough on the podcast. And it's true. It's a fair criticism. Even you've given me that criticism. And I tell them all the time, it's not that I'm not being vulnerable. And I curse every once in a while now, which was a big thing for me in the beginning, and I do it now. I think I still have to be conscious of where I'm at in my life. I'm not a full-time content creator. Yeah. And I'm in an industry where people microscope everything you do. It's just, unfortunately, it is what it is. The decision makers may be judgmental. Yeah. I'm not in a point in my life where I can say, fuck my career. I'm not there, right? Like, I still care about my career. But I also have other things that I do because now I have intent and purpose. Therefore, it gives me a newfound appreciation for what I do, which is the reason why I don't mind getting crushed and being available and doing whatever I need to do. But when I'm a full-time creator, you're going to get everything. You're going to get everything. Yeah. But for right now, it's not that I'm not willing to talk about certain things. I'm just not going to talk about certain things. It's not that I'm not willing to say things. It's that maybe it's not in the way maybe I would tell it to Mike off camera. Yeah. And that's just me being vulnerable about my being vulnerable, right? Yeah. Like, that's just me being real, right? Yeah. Like, I have certain limitations, and I want everybody to respect that. I think you've been pretty Mike's been really respectful about that, but it's not that I'm not. This is who I am. Like, this I'm not being fake. This is who I am on and outside the camera. There's just certain things I won't say.
It's more. I think it's more sides to us. It's more layers to us.
Yeah.
And I think those behind the scenes, gives the audience just more insight, because even people that are close to me, they're like, yo, you got to open up more. There's different sides to you that's not on camera.
There's certain things. There's certain things that we don't want to offend the audience with here.
You know? Nah, I mean, it's kidding. Just different. See, people, you say that. And
I know.
People gonna hit me. What does John mean by that?
No, it's totally my fault. Look.
He likes to joke on camera.
Dude. You know why? It's because I know Mike, and I know that these comments are being watched. So I like to poke the bear. Because it makes for good side. Yo, me and Mike be having phone conversations that could be full on podcasts. Like dead ass. Like dead.
Those would be the ones that go viral.
Meanwhile, we may get canceled. But you know what? Look, we're human beings at the end of the day. We have certain thoughts. We have certain things. We just have enough wherewithal to know, like, hey, like.
Yeah, don't say that. Keep that off camera.
Off camera. Keep that private. We have a private life. But look, oh my God. Like, honestly, that was funny. Because I be doing that. I'm a troll. I am a troll. That's for a fact.
You just leave an egg there to hatch, like plant the seed.
Mike, deal with the baby that comes out of that. Nah, man, but okay. So 2025. We hear what's been going on in the Middle East, man. Like, I want to ask you a question on camera. I didn't do this.
Yeah.
So you've been in Abu Dhabi. This is your 10th year in Abu Dhabi.
10th year coming up, yeah.
If I had to ask you, a guy from Washington Heights, you do well for yourself considering where you came from.
Yeah.
But I want you to tell people your genuine thoughts of 10 years in Abu Dhabi, some things that you would have done differently, some things that you didn't know coming in, just from a career perspective.
Yeah.
Not obviously the personal life is well recorded. You have definitely a better quality of life in New York, in Abu Dhabi. That is, I like to rock for New York forever, but my quality of life was way better in Dubai. I'm in New York simply for a professional reason that I couldn't give up. And again, shout out to you for understanding that so that we can do this. But the quality of life in the Middle East, there's no comparison. And I think people who are rational understand that. But just from your perspective, I've always wanted to hear from you, like, professionally speaking, like what's the, because people ask me, like, what are the opportunities like in Abu Dhabi? Like, what are some of the pitfalls? What are some of the advantages?
Yeah, I mean, just solely speaking on just a career, perspective, it's kind of like you're hired help. So you have to come here with the experience. Right. I wouldn't say it's something for someone that's just starting their career, because it's going to be hard to grow, and it's going to be hard to be challenged, So definitely, if you're like senior level, maybe mid-career, it's a great opportunity to come out here, and I think it's definitely a resume builder to have that international experience. Now that I'm in 10 years. It's funny because I feel like I'm doing the responsibilities of but my title wouldn't match up to that, Right. And that's just a, office politics thing, especially if you're working for certain entities and things like that. But
no, it's not a secret. Emiratisation. That's the stated policy of the UAE. So, that's not a secret. You can go to their constitution. It's there.
But I do think the work-life balance is something that I appreciate, and that's why it makes it hard for me to go back. Right. Because I could go back, and it depends on what you value or how you want your life to be. And for me to be able to do this podcast, I'm able to do it, and I know you're grinding to do it. It's tough. You was just on a phone call right now. So for me, it's like Ramadan is coming up. And I look forward to Ramadan because it's a time to get closer to God and things like that. Even though I am Christian and all that, right. But things are real chill in the office around that time. Where I don't think there's off time for you or downtime.
No, goes back to what you're saying. Me and Mike, I don't want anybody to. I have respect for Mike a lot because he knows what he wants in his life. Obviously, you went through a lot of tough things to come to those conclusions, but we're still two different individuals. The thing that he values right now, which I think you want work-life balance.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily care about that right now where I'm at right now. So I'm willing to grind myself to the ground because I want to get to certain places, and the only way I know how to get there, guaranteed, putting the podcast aside for right now, is grind to my bones, right? Yeah. And I'm able to do that healthily. I'm not I don't do drugs. I don't drink that much. I do my shisha every once in a while, but I'm at Barry's 5 days a week. Yeah. I eat pretty healthily, right? I take care of my skin. I drink a lot of water. But for right now, my balance there is no balance right now. Yeah. Which is okay. This is where I'm at right now. I may want to balance 5 years from now. I don't know, right? I don't know where I'm going to be at. Yeah. But I think my perspective, and not that the question's about me, I'm not trying to turn it on me, was when I was in the UAE, there was a ceiling and I saw it. And before I even got there, especially to what I did, I just left. And thankfully, the opportunity that came to my lap was one I couldn't say no to. But had I not met that, I've seen a lot of attorneys there tell me that this could be a trap too, because then eventually you can't go back to where you're from because the experience doesn't really match up where you're at in your career. Yeah. And I didn't want that to be the case. I know certain people who have been practicing outside of the U.S., they've run into that because as a U.S. qualified attorney, we're probably the most expensive outside in the world, right? In terms of our billing rates. Mm-hmm. That clients outside the U.S. don't really need to pay those rates. They can do a UK solicitor or an Australian lawyer or whatever, an English qualified lawyers or things like that. So there could be a mismatch in terms of your experience and what your seniority is. And when you're trying to come back, they'd be like, that boat has passed. So for me, it was important to come back at the U.S. qualified experience and maybe look, I'm always open to going back for a 6 month stay into the UAE. There's already rumblings of me. They already want us because I have the experience for the region, right? And you need there, as you know, somebody who's worked there, it's different in the Middle East, right?
It
So
is.
certain things that you need to know before you deal make there. Certain, just not even technical stuff in terms of just like respect things and how to communicate with people that doesn't really come across as natural to certain people in New York, right? Like, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, being away for so long, 10 years, do you ever think about, damn, like, one, I wanted to see, like, in terms of like finding a life partner, right? There's plenty of nice people in the UAE, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if you found someone long distance, like how I was, right? That could. Do you ever think about like, damn, how am I gonna reconcile this? Like in terms of like, because if they have something going on and you have something going on, then like, have you ever thought about like, damn, like, I may have to readjust what I do here?
I mean, I'm open to that. So I'm open to, you know, if I have something long distance, you know, to make that change and to go back. But I've lived abroad so long, it's like I'll live in Europe. You know, I'm open to living in Europe and things like that.
Sign me up, bro. Sign me up.
Even you know, parts of Asia, Singapore. Like I'm really just open to those things. You know, just different experiences and things like that. Where before, if I would have just stayed in New York, I would have still been scared. Where now I'm like, okay, I could live anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm open to any opportunities that come.
I think once you've lived in different places, or at least one place that's different outside of the U.S., and not to just anywhere. Yeah, your mind just goes to, if I can do that, I can do it anywhere. There's some places you may like better than others, but yeah, I can see myself in Asia. The only thing that ever bothered me about living in the UAE was how far I was from my family. And I couldn't see them as often as I'd like. As opposed to when I was in London, I was there all the time because it's a 6-hour flight. Yeah, you're there on a weekend, like you know what I mean. And not that I'm super attached to my family, because I'm not. Like God knows I'm not. But like the thing is, I wanted that access to them for those moments when I was feeling like, damn, I could really use my family right now. Yeah, and it's not cool watching on social media like everybody else getting turned up. You're losing out on the inside jokes, but at the same time, you got to miss out on some of those moments because you're building a podcast, you're building your career, you're doing other things, right? You're focused on other stuff. And sometimes it'd be your own family that make you feel guilty about why you're not around when they're supposed to be the first ones to understand, right? So
yeah. I mean, for myself, the thing that helped offset it is, man, the UAE gives a lot of vacation time, a lot of leeway. So even when I go to New York, bro. I've spent vacation time in New York for a month or more. You know, and then especially when, you know, going through the situation with my mom, I was there a lot, like 2-3 months at a time, going through her to her chemo sessions and things like that. So that's something I wouldn't get with a U.S. company. So it kind of balances it out. And then as well as I think it's kind of industry specific, because I look at if I was working for a U.S. company and all that, how much more would I make unless I'm a CIO or something like that? That's different. Then it's like, okay, I'm pulling in M's and M's or something like that. Right. But if I'm VP level, maybe manager and director level, I'm kind of at the same.
Right. Even if your gross is more, the tax.
Yeah, with the tax and all that, I'm gonna come out to the same. And I'm speaking specifically for my industry, being in tech and all that. It's not that big of a difference. And then when you outweigh I'm gonna be doing a lot more work. I'm not gonna have that free time. It's like, you know, I don't see it.
Here's translation from Mike. I'm gonna give you the translation. I'm not gonna have my lit 2-bedroom apartment overlooking the palm trees and the sea every day. I'm gonna be looking at the side of the building, paying more rent, having to deal with rats, cockroaches, which he's allergic to now. All of a sudden, I've been allergic. I saw him move. He's allergic to them now. But on a serious note, yeah, I mean, that's tough. I mean, that's not my situation. That wasn't my situation, right? So like for me, like that's a hard calculus. When you get used to a certain lifestyle, if you get used to flying in first class, it's hard to go to economy again. Yeah, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like it really is what it is. It's hard to take it unless there's a tangible short-term benefit where you're going to be like, I'm taking 2 steps back to take 5 steps forward. I can deal with this for like a year and then things will get better. But like sometimes in the US, there's no guarantee unless you get that on paper.
Yeah, exactly. If it's something where you go into an industry where it's like, man, this is amazing. Like if I'm doing tech for the NBA,
In Miami.
Or something like that. You know? In Miami. Like, then it's like, yo, I'm going. Like, you know.
In Miami. That's where Mike wants. Mike wants to go back to the U.S. in Miami. He's done with New York. I don't think he wants
New
to.
York is over. Yo, I'm cold here. I'm freezing my ass off.
Oh, because it's the best time of the year to be in the UAE right now, man.
No.
It must be amazing. I saw you was with one of the homies and you guys were outside and I saw all the blankets outside because sometimes there's a wind.
Oh, now it's cold and we got a proper winter now.
Oh, it's cold.
Yeah, I had a leather jacket on.
The Knicks one. Yeah,
leather jacket.
Yeah. People sleep on the UAE. It gets cold some months at night where you need like a full on puffer or something like that outside, or you be freezing. But I wouldn't trade. The one thing about the UAE, what I loved about being there, I wouldn't trade those winter nights for nothing, bro. Yeah. Those winter 75-degree days, we could walk outside, no humidity, and I'd be sweating easy. I know you too, but there's no humidity. I wouldn't trade for that. But the summers, which are about to come in, the same way you told me, the same way Mike was like, yo, talk to me in the wintertime when you freeze your ass off. I'm gonna talk to you in the summer when you out there like, damn, it's blitzing out there. Because you can't. The dream is to leave for 3 months in the summer.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
That's what I told you. I saw like, if we don't need to be here, then I'm out because I'm saving all my vacation time for the summer.
Yeah, because that's how you need to line it up in the UAE. You need to line up all your vacation time between the month of. When's the last real, like late April, right? Is when it starts getting unbearable in May.
I would say May, you can hold it until June.
Yeah, June starts
getting crazy. But May, there's sometimes in May where it's still nice.
Yeah, but in June, I remember the first time I was in UAE and bro, when you're like leaving a building, it's like the humidity slaps you in the face. It's like, goddamn.
Glasses get wet, all of that.
And you instantly drenched. Instantly. It doesn't matter how close your car is. But yeah, man. So that was a little bit of that. And I think for me, I've been going heavy into the therapy since I've been back in New York and just trying to hash out a lot of feelings that I've had over the last few months. Interpersonal stuff, which I'll say at some point in the season. I haven't decided which episode I'm dropping. It ain't gonna be this one. Ain't gonna be this one.
Started off with a bang.
Nah, it ain't gonna be this one. It ain't gonna be this one. But I think just speaking on that, man, it's tough.
Wait, hold on. How's the social life?
What social life? Social life.
Whenever you get a chance.
Did you not just see me? I was on a phone call legitimately right before we hit Snap. He's talking to me about how's your social life out there.
No, but when you do go out, how's New York City nightlife? Is it lit? Is it the same?
It's different. I'm not going to say it's dead. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say it's dead because it's not dead. It's still New York at the end of the day. But it is different from when we were pre-pandemic.
Yeah, pre-pandemic.
Way different. Yeah. And for me, now it's about, when I go outside, I like to have a good time.
Yeah.
I don't really like to politic too much, but now I feel like everywhere is too much politicking. You gotta know somebody, or you dealing with this guy or this girl, and it's not fun for me.
Yeah,
I have money I can spend. I know there's a lot of people who have money that can spend, but I can spend my own debit card money. I don't need to put shit on credit cards.
Even to get a restaurant reservation, it's like you need.
It's like a sneaker drop. Yo, it's like a sneaker drop now.
Yeah.
Yo, if it's a restaurant that it's mildly aesthetically pleasing on IG, it's like a sneaker drop to get. I'm like, yo, what the
people are actually making money selling reservations.
They made that illegal in New York.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they passed the law on that. Yeah, because I tried doing that one time.
Oh, yeah. No, but is it really working?
I had a reservation at Carbone.
Yeah.
And I sold it.
For real? You just call them and be like,
no, I didn't. No, I didn't. There's an app for it. I forgot what the name of the app was because it happened like years ago at this point. But I had a reservation at Carbone. I couldn't make it. And I was like, I'm about to get charged.
So you put it on the app.
I put it on the app and somebody snatched them up.
Okay.
I was like, I made money off of this.
Yeah.
You have to actually pay the cancellation fee because technically it gets transferred to the person's name or whatever. But it's for the restaurant. Not to, also, the restaurant's incentivized because they don't want to lose money.
Yeah.
Because when you're at a place like Carbone, it's going to be a lot of money more often than not. And they don't want to lose the money on it. But the nightlife in New York has been treating me just right. You know what I've realized as I've grown up and I've become much more mature?
Yeah.
And this is not me capping or whatever. This is not me being like about myself, but you get attention without you trying in your 30s and your 40s and stuff like that as a dude. And I just think, and especially when you're not trying to talk to nobody, they be talking to you. I'm like, I'm not used to this.
But I think it's also the things that you're doing and all that. It's upgraded.
I'm
now.
not doing anything though. On IG, they can't see my lifestyle, bro. I'm not putting my
what you're doing in real life, not on
Oh,
IG.
exactly, right? You get a little, you sip on Clase Azul. That's what I like. I like to sip on Clase Azul. What do you want me to say? Give us that. We're still waiting for the sponsorship.
Yeah, we're still waiting for
We're still waiting for it. I have a big ass bottle right here in the middle of us if you give us the sponsorship. But yeah, I think that now people are much more attentive. And my dad always taught me, you say a lot without doing a lot.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I didn't really know what that meant. But you say things by the way you dress, by the way you conduct yourself in any place, by the things you eat, by the things you say, by the things you drink. You say a lot about yourself with nonverbal cues without having to open your mouth. And people who generally pay attention to you, that's how you can tell if somebody's really attentive to you. If they say something about something that you did without you speaking, they usually paying attention to you. So I always kept that in mind when I was like, when I was dating anybody, when I was in the dating pool, whatever. Does this person really pay attention to me?
Yeah.
Or are they just paying attention? Are they getting lost in the sauce with like what they think I can give them? Not that I could. Look, I'm very splendid, but with a girl I don't like, I'm cheap. I'm super cheap, bro.
You're sugar daddy with who you like. You El Cheapo with who you don't.
I'm cheap, bro. I'm cheap, bro. I wouldn't say I'm a sugar daddy, but I'm just splendid, right? Like I'm splendid. But I am very cheap and it comes like it just comes with
Wait, not to interrupt you, but to get a little spicy. So if you take
I don't like where this is going already. Okay. I don't like where this is going.
If you take a trip, right? If it could happen different ways. Because if you naturally take a trip, somebody you're dealing with is like, oh, I want to come.
I'm dealing with?
Somebody who you're dating. You're dating.
I'm dating.
Or dealing with.
How long am I? Okay, we have to get into specifics. This is very. I think I know where you're going with this. How long am I dating this person? Is she the only person I'm dating? And in the list of the rosters, is she the star player? Is she one of the like bench warmers? Like what?
Okay, so all of these factors matter.
All this matters. You're asking me the question, right?
Okay,
so
okay.
I'm asking. I'm telling you to lay out the scenario for me because not everybody gets treated the same in any. And this is not to talk about dating because this is not what it's about. It's just like literally preferences, and I think that it's actually healthier to talk about these things, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying the way I do it is the best way to do it. The way that Mike does is the best way to do it. He's asking me a question about how I view this situation. So lay out the details.
Okay. When do you pay for a flight, hotel, and everything?
Wifey.
Okay.
If she's not wifey, she's not getting any of that. She's got to be wifey. I don't trick.
Okay.
I can't do it.
All right, only wifey. Okay.
Only
Wifey status.
status gets, and even then, wifey would at least offer to pay. Right?
Okay.
Should at least offer to pay.
Yeah.
For me, the offer to pay is all I need.
Okay. Like,
I
could get the flight.
Or
I could get a hotel night.
I could get one night. I could pay for a fancy dinner.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm okay with that when it comes to wifey. You know how it is, Mike.
Yeah.
You know how it is with girls you're trying to impress.
Casually dating now.
Nah, I'm not. Casually dating I'm not doing this. I'm not getting.
Wait, is she getting an invite? Is she getting an invite?
She's getting the girl I'm casually dating. She's got to at least pay for her own flight.
Okay. All right.
And then I'll take care of everything else.
Okay. Yeah.
She gets there because I need to know there's some skin. I'm a PE attorney.
You gotta have some skin in the game.
I'm a PE attorney, right? So we do leverage buyouts. Not that I expect any of you guys to know what this means. What does that mean? I use a lot of debt. I use 95% of debt, but the lender wants to know I have skin in the game. Just to make sure that you're aligned with this company.
You gotta put some money up too.
You gotta put this money up too. Because now I know you're incentivized to make sure that this company is gonna grow together.
Yeah.
Because if I do 100% debt financing and I put nothing in the game, what do I care whether the company goes under or not?
You just had a great trip. You don't care what.
So I need to make...
it's all on you then to make it go well.
It's like, I don't
care.
care.
You want to play around,
free.
mess up? You gave me a free trip. Had a great time. Goodbye.
Thanks. Thank you so much. I'm gonna tell all the girls.
I like that.
I'm gonna tell all the girls that I tricked on you. But like, no. On a serious note, I just look, man. Like, it depends on what I'm looking for in that situation. Like, it's all circumstantial. If it's a chick I'm just dealing with, and I just want it for a specific thing, I know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not stupid. I know what I need to do.
Yeah.
Right. If it's wifey There's certain expectations because I'm not doing. Here's where dudes get it messed up.
Yeah.
They do wifey things with bops.
That's true.
Messed up.
That's true.
I'm not taking a bop to Saint Tropez. I'm not doing that personally. Me personally,
Yeah.
I know some people do. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
She going to Jamaica, going to DR maybe, Puerto Rico, whatever. And I don't even go to those places, right? So I don't know where I would take them. Maybe we'll go to LA for the weekend. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the advantages that wifey gets, and I think from my perspective is that wifey is there through the ups and downs.
Yeah.
So wifey's got to get treated like the queen that she is.
Yep.
Which I'm a big believer in. Here's your reward for dealing, especially with somebody like me. Imagine my love life. Look, you deal with me as a friend and as a business partner. Imagine imagine somebody who has to sleep with me next night. So she has to feel like, what's the benefit of this? Like, why am I doing this? Because if this guy doesn't have, if he doesn't have time for me, which you need time to develop a relationship, not that it's anything material, but in the time that we do have is special.
Yeah.
Those moments are special. We're doing special things together. You get first dibs on my free time. You and I get to share that intimate moment together, even if it comes once a month.
Yep.
Right? And not everybody's built for that. Not everybody wants to be with somebody who's super busy.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, yo, I need time.
Yeah.
So again, going back to your original question, it depends on what I want.
Yeah.
Then you act accordingly. That's it. Depends on what you want, then you act accordingly. So,
you know, the comments are going to be like, why are you even dealing with bops anyway?
bops need love.
Bops need love too.
Bops need love too. And why do you deal with that not good for nothing dude who plays you 4 or 5 times? They're bop too. You deal with him.
It's the adrenaline. It's the
toxicity, bro. It's
exactly.
a toxicity. It's a toxicity. And I hate talking about this stuff. And I'm gonna put this on the record. I hate talking about this topic on camera. But Mike asked me the question.
That's get a little spicy in the episode.
A little spicy. What about you? What's your line? I know you're a little bit more open to talk about these things. So let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you're thinking.
No, I kind of agree. I'm in line with you. It's more so for me. They gotta have skin in the game. The thing is, you never want to feel like you're used. Bro, that's the thing.
Sometimes you be leaving. Have you ever left a day like I definitely got used?
Yo, that's the worst feeling. That's the worst feeling.
Used.
And honestly, I feel like I'm super gullible and all that. I'm like, just make me feel like I'm not being used. You know what I mean? When I feel like I'm being used, it's like, nah, we not doing this.
The reason I'm laughing so hard is because Mike tells me some stories. I'm like, you cannot believe that.
Yeah.
You are seriously not believing that. He's like, bro, I'm telling you. I'm like, Mike, stop. And at the end, damn, I should have listened. I'm like, yo,
listen. Yeah.
But yeah, just make me feel good, right?
Yeah, exactly. But when someone's genuine, that's when I'm giving the world to them. There's no whole bars when it's like, okay, they're really in it and they want the best for you. Then it's like, all right, it's whatever.
Yeah. And I think that because that person doesn't come around so often, you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it, bro. You know. You like a lot of people, but that person that comes around every couple years that you just have that connection with,
Yeah.
You're like, yo, I'm going to go over and above this person. And the person is really not that difficult. The same way that women say it's not that difficult to make them happy.
Yeah.
Listen to them, ask them questions, make them feel attentive, make them feel beautiful. All the things that I agree. Women are more beautiful than men. We should make them feel good because there are better halves. I generally believe that.
Exactly.
It's not really that difficult for guys. I'll tell you that. It's not.
Yeah.
You give me a head rub, yo, baby, is everything okay?
Exactly.
You need a glass of water. I'm good. Like if you make me feel like, because I'm working behind the screen all the time. Like if you just make me feel like, yo, like I got your 6, I got your back.
Yeah.
You got me. You got me. That's
exactly. It don't take much, to show that appreciation and all that,
So what happened, man? You got anybody in the you got anybody in the special girl bucket right now?
No, I'm just saying we not. I'm gonna do a John. We ain't gonna talk about that yet.
I had to ask him. He's pleading the fifth.
We're gonna have one episode. We're gonna have one episode. We both spilling it all.
We'll spill it all. We'll spill it all in one of the episodes to see where things are at right now. Yeah. My situation is a little in flux, so I may need to. I just want to calibrate to see where the chips fall before I tell you. As of today, this is where we are. But it's been an incredible Time, man. I on that point, I do think it's important to have a good partner next to you.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's so incredibly important to have someone who supports you and you support them.
Yeah.
You guys help each other grow. And even if you guys don't see eye to eye or anything, you guys can resolve conflict in a healthy way. And I think that's the real marker of a good relationship. If you know how to resolve conflict in a healthy manner.
Yeah.
Because if it's toxic and it's not great, then it's not going to benefit anybody.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my thoughts on dating and moving on to other things in the world. So the world has not crashed ever since we got a certain presidential elected.
It hasn't crashed, but it's burning.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Exactly. Where there's smoke, there's fire. But have you been paying attention to your? Nah, I don't want to bring this up. So Mike was a real big Cat fan.
What?
Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
Nah, he's not doing great right now, bro. Just letting you know. I know you haven't.
Probably had a couple of games bad,
Bro.
but y'all was loving him. Big Bodega, I give him a nickname and all of that.
Here's the thing that Mike doesn't understand. As a lifelong Knicks fan, right? Yes, we're doing objectively great. We're 28 and 38 and 20 right now. Best record we've had like in 28 years.
Okay.
You know what's our record against the elite teams in the NBA?
Y'all haven't won at all, I believe. I seen that. I seen
0-6. So
Yeah.
we got Cat, someone who's a $50 million player. And the reason I'm bringing up sports is not to talk about sports, but it's to connect to a bigger life mantra. What good are you if in the big moments you don't make an impact in anything? And that's what I wanted to leave it up as a segue.
Yeah.
A lot of people are really good when the pressure's not on. But a lot of people fold when the lights are on them, when the pressure's on them, right? So I just dislike these type of people because I've come across them lately. People who flex when it doesn't really matter, and when it's time for you to flex, you come up short, right? And my message to everyone is you have to practice. In anything that you do, whether you're practicing being on a podcast, whether you're practicing in the gym, whether you're practicing a script or a play or a movie, whatever. Don't wait till the lights come on for you to try to put everything together because you should already have it all the way together. And if you need more time to get it together in a way where it doesn't affect your performance on game day.
Yeah. See, let me just respond to that. Because I think this is what Knicks fan does all the time. Y'all judge too early. Y'all jumping on things too early.
We got 20 games left before the playoffs, and he's out with a knee injury.
Oh, he's okay. But that has nothing to do with his performance, though. You know. So all I'm saying is this: let's see when the lights come on. Let's see playoff Cat. You know, let's see that. The season to me. Y'all have a great record. Y'all gonna make the playoffs. Y'all looking good. Let me see when the light shines. Is Josh Hart still going to be the same? What is it? Jalen Brunson.
He's going to show up.
He's going to show up.
He's going to show up.
But Cat, I believe he's going to show up. So, and I'd rather him lose all season and then show up in the playoffs.
Me too.
So, because especially in basketball, there's plenty of guys that show up in season, they're looking great. Then when the playoffs come, they tuck their toe.
They crash out.
Yeah.
That's a mantra in life. People are like that too. When you need them to show up, they're crashing out. You don't need people to crash out.
No.
We need to stop the crashing out. But I think I started this on season 2. What are some of the goals you want to achieve this season? What do you want to do this year? We're trying to work on that festival.
Yeah, we have to give it's either a festival or we have to do a live podcast like with an audience.
Right.
I think that's the next one.
I get nervous thinking about that because it's different when you're here and there's nobody here recording you but the control guy and a few people in the back. But it's different when there's like 30 people just coming here.
Just to listen
to what you got to say.
And maybe their reactions, like we're going to get the live feedback from them. It's like, damn, did I say something wrong? Or
I'm gonna have glasses on, so I don't have to look. No, I think public speaking to be a little bit vulnerable to me. I can do public speaking, but public speaking is not my favorite thing. Yeah. And I think through this podcast, subconsciously, I'm gonna have to get over that because as we progress, you're gonna speak in front of audiences.
Yeah.
Whether I'm as a panel member or do a live podcast episode. But I think the bigger thing here is that we should be in a place where you're willing to challenge yourself, be vulnerable, and be in a place where you can see growth in areas where you were previously weak at.
Exactly. So I think that looks like, either being a panel guest or us hosting a live podcast.
I think we can get people. If we actually planned it out, we can pack out a place.
Yeah.
A small venue. I think
so. I think anywhere from 20 to 40 people. We
like
could
a small
intimate
gathering.
I think we get that.
Actually, my boy Alex brought that up. He's like, you guys should do that.
Yeah.
Like, you guys
and I think that's how we'll really grow our audience, those in-person events.
Yeah, because I think in these podcasts, there's a little bit of an impersonal touch because we want to reach out to people and make an impact, but we have to be amongst the people.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to get bigger. People recognize you. Hey, that's Mike and Jay, and that'll happen one day for sure. It'll happen. But I think that for me, I'll have a much bigger impact from the random person watching me in some random country than 10 people that are here right now that I can have a conversation with them, talk to them after the recording, talk to them before the recording, get to know who they are, and I think that'll create a relationship when they're looking at us for them to recommend us to other people.
Yeah.
You know? So that's a good goal.
Yeah, and then also bringing a long-term partnership.
Yeah.
So
I think the long-term partnership is more to be. I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter whether it's clothes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't
whatever.
matter.
It doesn't something that's just aligned with the things that we like.
Yeah.
But I think for us, it's more putting the dollars in, putting that aside. It's more about putting it back into the podcast.
Yeah, then we could do more. Like we have a lot of cool ideas. Like even a Dubai, like little BTS, we did that. That was ourselves. If we had a budget, it's like the things we could do. It'll just come out so dope.
Me and Mike have a lot of ideas that have pretty big budgets.
Expensive ideas.
So like, yeah, and people could be like, well, you could do it creatively and you could do it like this. But like, that's not really our thing. Our thing is curated, fine wine taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's with a little bit of street edge. It's an experience to come with us and do all this stuff with us. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure we have a largely curated episode for you. So yeah, and to be able to just be in a place where we can have a partner that can take us on and actually take us to the next level. But for right now, it's just you and me, man.
Yeah.
So that's a wrap for episode 1, man. So let them know where they can find us, bro.
Man, you can find us everywhere at Last Flight Out Podcast. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. We're also for our crypto guys out there.
We
Crypto guys and girls.
I forgot.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
They're holding us down. So
we making a little money off of that.
Yeah,
for sure. So
yeah.
a little bit of crypto money we making now. It's Mike's idea. Again, Mike be coming with these strange ideas sometimes. But I was like, hey, he's making us a little money. So it'll pay for some editing.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
So that's good. So look, shout out to them. Again, like Mike said, you can find me at JLubriel26. You can find Mike at
If Mike Was Here.
So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in and come with us for another wild ride on season 4 of the Last Flight Out podcast.
So peace.
Peace.
Let's flat out. Big teams, big boys, alright?
My highs and lows inherit growth, Mr. Deeds. Went from juggling 3 jobs to CEO like I'm Steve. Never been a rotten apple, call me John Appleseed. That's how I bleed. God can see no other man can judge me. Call him Mike, Mr. International, getting cream.